How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting, and welcome back to Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, second chapter. So, we were able to do a lot of, perusing through the city, and specifically, we went to the embassies and met the representatives of the Calvard Republic and the Erebonian Empire. Got to get some nice, fleshing out of, just story beats and world building, and thankfully, you all really jumped to the plate, and in Discord especially, I was able to get direct links to world map, which they said that they pointed out it's the map they provide especially wasn't super it's not going to give away much or if anything, but it showed just how big the Empire and the Calvard Republic are. Essentially the Empire and the Calvard Republic border each other imagine a giant egg cut in half, and then down this little bottom area is Liberl, which is a very small and borders both of them, but majority of the border between the two is shared. So yeah, we're kind of just this little nugget place. In fact, I'm pretty sure that one of the only reasons why Liberl is even a notable area is because they are the cutting edge people of airships. When it comes to everything else that makes a nation successful and run, it seems like they've got very limited access to things like resources. So maybe there's a legitimate concern from the colonel when he was worried that Liberl was going to lose their edge and then just be trampled all over again. It might legitimately happen, so I'll have to see. But other than that, I'm pretty excited. We're going to be jumping around, going through the city. I might peruse through some of the orbment setups we've got going on before we kick off, because some of you pointed out that while it is interesting that Zin has the earthquake capability, he's not really going to be able to use it. His magic slots are pretty pathetic, and so maybe just focusing on enhancing him is going to be the better deal. So I might play with the orbments a little bit. A few things I do before we're going to either go to the castle or go to the newspaper. I want to go look for Tita and Renne. I want to go and explore a little bit more of the city and see if there's anything I've been missing. And I also need to go back to the Bracers Guild and see if any other side quests are popping up as I'm transitioning through different phases, so I don't accidentally miss something. So, without further ado, I'll jump into the orbment stuff, and then after that, we'll just jump right into the exploring of the city. Okay, so rearranged it a little bit more. I'm actually pretty happy with the results. So let's walk through things real quick. I'm leaning into Stella for fire and stone. She gets some pretty interesting abilities here. Naturally, she's got some muddling with some blue with the ingenuity, Heaven's Eye, and such, but because of the high stone we got now, we have all the earth walls, and we have Titanic Roar access, so she has her big attack. But then with all the fire, we got all the way up to Napalm Breath, Cyclone Napalm. So she's got single target max damage with fire, lots of area of attacks with stone. I think it's pretty solid. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Feel like it gives her a lot of stuff to work with in a fight. Chloe, she's pretty much the same, except I trade out some of her stronger wind, which we'll see why in a minute, but with even the lower wind slots, I still was able to give her pretty much everything she could need to have access to all of her big stuff. So she's got all the healing, she's got Diamond Dust, Blue Ascension, so lots of aggressive attacks, and also I think the only thing I'm missing is being able to give her the recovery La Cura. I don't think we'll get it for now. It just doesn't seem like it'll fit. Now we go to Oliver, whom he has this hit 3, but I kind of just gave him all the wind stuff. Now, I gave him defense 3 just because it was a good place there's a good place to put it. So I might take that off now that I've had some thinking, but it gave him some stuff, but mostly I'm focusing on his wind, being able to have lightning, arrow storm, and aerial. So he actually was able to achieve some of the bigger wind spells that I've been reaching for anyway. So that's really, really solid. Being an Arrow Star in particular, very happy to see that back. And just kind of letting him focus on being able to do a lot more casting. And then for Zin, yeah, I might switch out defense 3 with 2, but then at the same time it reduces strength, and I don't know if I want to reduce that too much. That's kind of his bread and butter. So is it the most perfect? Probably not. Someone mentioned before giving Zin attack 3, but I need that on Estelle to be able to give her to these high-end fire spells that she's casting, so I'm going to elect not to do that. But in the future, definitely will consider doing it. But yeah, I just kind of gave him stuff that I felt would enhance him as much as possible. Just kind of give him a little bit of an edge, but he also kind of was picking up the crumbs based on everyone else. So pretty happy with this. Hope you all are interested. Now, that's done, I will save so I don't lose any of that. And then we now actually will go on an adventure. Oh wait, I forgot to ask this guy. I imagine you're having a difficult time trying to find the culprit. Though I suppose if there were some clue, any clue at all, we wouldn't be in a position we are in now. Still, don't hesitate to let us know if we can be of any assistance. The path to the Bracer continues to prove itself a harsh one indeed. Several months ago, I received reports concerning the Bracers Guild. Various branches have been attacked in my country, one after the other. Given that you're Bracers yourselves, I fear you may be an easy target for whomever is responsible. I wish you and your fellow Bracers well. Do not lose hope. We know that was Ouroboros, so... Alright, yep, nothing else of note in here. Alright, I also got to enjoy the lovely stories, like the side stories, and I'm just so impressed that they actually have like side stories that were written for the game that have nothing to do other than world building. It's so cool. Thanks, Mueller. Talking with the ambassador was a big help. No, you don't need to thank me. I didn't really do anything important, really. Besides, this is a problem affecting all our nations. We should be working together. Ha, indeed. I do hope we can solve this. Huh? Oliver, you're awfully quiet. Oh, it's nothing. I was simply lost in reverie for a moment. It does concern me, our current business. Pay me no mind. Okay. Oliver, you'll be staying here at the embassy in the evenings while you're here in Grancel, yes? Where else? I would not miss the chance to have more sweet dreams in your bed as always. What? Oh my. Stop with the jokes before you give the ladies too many ideas and images. Push those jokes too far and I may have to spear you upon the embassy flagpole. Ah, so that's the direction I should approach you from. You teach me more every day. Alternatively, I could just cut you in half right here. I'm fairly sure I could explain it to Lord Kerrigan. That would be rather less lovely. Forgive the joke, my friend. So, that's how you keep Oliver under control. Maybe I should write this down. I'll say the match each other perfectly myself. That's a terrifying thought. Well, regardless, I shall pardon myself here. Good luck with the rest of your investigation. Thanks again, Mueller. With the embassies out of the way, all that's left is liberal news. Hopefully Niall or somebody will be able to help us. Hopefully. Shall we be off? She didn't mention the capital, like to go see the Queen. But, okay. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of exploring. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of exploring and then figure out what I'm going to be doing next. I came to the capital to look for a wife candidate for my son. If you know any good girls, introduce them to me. But I can't find any really good girls. I wonder if you can actually introduce her to somebody? That seems weird. Alright, I guess we can go to the Bracers Guild. Oh, you're the Bracers who won the martial arts competition. Ah, I'm so lucky to meet you in a place like this. With disasters and incidents one after the other, it seems like the capital's only just calmed down. Is what I thought, but up next is the signing ceremony. Well, if this will make things peaceful, it's more than welcome, though. Anything on the board? Nope. As we discussed, Estelle, please go to the Imperial and Republic embassies, Grancel Castle, and Liberal News. For the embassies, Zid and Oliver will be counting on you. As for Grancel Castle, Princess, if you would. Alright. Nothing new. Looks like we're just heading out. Oh, I guess there is one other place I haven't visited before. I think I mentioned it in a comment. But technically, there was a section of the palace we couldn't explore because it was the barracks and we were told, like, not to go over there. So let's go into the palace. Oh, you forget how freaking big it is. Okay, time to nose around the castle a bit. So obviously we should talk to Queen Alicia, both to ask about the letter and just to say hi, but who else? Julia's gone, right? Yes, she's currently at Lestine Fortress overseeing the refitting of the Araceli. Well, that's going to make things a bit harder on us. She probably could have given us a lot of help with this mess. Who else could we confer with, I wonder? With Julia absent, I think our best bet is Hilda, at least considering Renne's parents. If the Hayworths have ever visited the castle, she would know. Yeah, Hilda kind of seems to have that sort of castle sense about things. So where would you find them, you think?
Grandmother should be in her chambers at this hour. And Hilda, if she isn't in the maid's room, they can tell us where she is at least.
Good idea. Maid's room in the Queen's chambers. Off we go.
And we have a basement to explore. Welcome to the Grancel Castle.
Oh, the maid's quarters. Go straight ahead for a while, you'll see the big entrance. Door to the right is the entrance to the maid's quarters.
Alright, let's explore some of these rooms, though.
Miss Estelle.
Oh, it's the younger maid.
And Miss Claudia, Mr. Sin too. But pardon me, it's been quite some time.
Oh, it sure has.
Yeah, reminds me when you lent me your maid uniform, Shay.
Oh, Estelle is a maid.
Yeah, it was to meet the Queen. Oh, and Joshua had to wear one too. Shay did magic with his face and her makeup. He was pumped to do it, up to do it.
Oh my. Thank you very much.
Joshua, who once played the role of a Princess Cecilia, is perfect, also portrayed as a maidservant. Oh, noble endeavors both, I am sure it must have been quite beauteous to behold. I regret that all the more I could not attend the Duke's banquet.
Haha. Oh, right, Shay. Do you know where Hilda is? I believe Mistress Hilda's in the library. As I recall, she said she had something to look up.
The library, got it.
Sweet. Alright. The powder room, where we got all dolled up. So many crappy memories with Joshua. Good ones and also crappy ones. Alright, so I think this is the barracks. I'm afraid Captain Schwartz isn't here right now. She's currently stationed at Leshing Fortress to the changing of the Arcella's engine. It's all so purple. Oh, interesting. There's a lever here. Oh, maybe we did interact with that. I think we did use that eventually to open the gate. Yeah, with Joshua. Okay, we have been in here. It was just really briefly.
I imagine my wife's enjoying non-stop fishing by now. At this rate, I'm not only going to be worthless as a man, but my position as her husband will be in danger.
Alright, if it's just a trade secret, I'm sure I can catch up to my wife. Oh, so they're like fishing spouses. Interesting. My duties are slowly normalizing, but I'm still quite busy. As ever, there are still many inquiries from the citizenry about the coup d'etat. I'm in charge of the various kinds of reparations, and there's just a mountain of problems to get through. We're still cleaning up after the coup d'etat. Right now, I'm investigating the Intelligence Division's budgets and their real expenses. From the looks of it, there are signs the budget was manipulated. Where could this money have gone to? Because I don't think the Colonel would have been messing with the budget too much, so I'm guessing he had, like, the other parties, like the spies in Ouroboros, probably siphoning funds, embezzling. I mean, if you can, why don't you? It's not like they had any actual love for the organization. The head cook's incredible. Crazy how many recipes the guy knows. Maybe I can get him to teach me a few. Why, Your Highness Claudia, I see you are most well kept today. May I ask what brings you to my humble kitchen? Once we closed the door leading into the sewers, we finally started getting so many rats in our storehouse. Really, the nerve they had to chew the food of people on food people put so much effort into bringing in. Nasty, nasty little critters. Those candelabra look very weird. It's just the way they're positioned on the tables. Like, they look very like a PNG just floating.
What is it? I'm very sorry, but I'm busy cleaning here.
Ah, this is the library. Castle blueprints, the 7 treasures, the full details of the 100 Days' War. I was asked by Her Highness to compose a list of the books removed by the Intelligence Division. I wonder what they were investigating. A curious selection. Yo, the 100 Days' War. So they must. Well, I wonder if they wondered if the Empire knew about like the structures and were trying to access them. That would make some sense too. At least if people in there were.
Princess Claudia and Miss Estelle too. Hello, Hilda. Sorry if I startled you, but I just got back.
Hi, Hilda. Sorry if I've been out of touch.
It's quite all right. I'm glad you see you well. I understand the princess has been assisting you, Estelle. I'm very glad to see the two of you home safe.
Oh, Hilda.
You remember embarrassing Estelle, Hilda. Speaking of helping Estelle, though, I've returned partially to inquire about something about the guild is investigating. Something the guild is investigating. Could we ask you a few questions, Hilda? If I can be of assistance, ask me anything. I think there may be too many onlookers to speak here, however. Let us borrow a guest room. Yes, I see. You're attending the investigation of the letter we received, then? I take it you want to know if you have any idea who the sender might be?
That's exactly it. We're investigating all the locations that received letters to see if we can ferret out some clues.
Well, firstly, thank you for your efforts. Just receiving that letter was unsettling. I'm afraid I can only be of little aid naming suspects, however. The only thing I can say for confidence is that it's not the work of anyone in the castle.
Yeah, we figured that one.
Who was the letter here addressed to, out of curiosity? No, that's a person than Her Majesty herself. I checked all the letters addressed to the Queen, and so I know the contents of the letter. Believe me, if I could lay hands on the rude fool who wrote that.
Pardon me. I was wondering, were there any other suspicious letters delivered to the castle recently? Ones critical of royal dissension, for example.
Well. Hilda, please, help us for my sake, if not one else's. We need as much information as we can get in order to make a judgment. Very well. There have been several letters delivered with no indication as to their senders. They were not particularly critical of royal decisions per se. They were largely petitions to reduce or annul Colonel Richard's sentence. I suspect at least some are from citizens of Grancel, but the rest I cannot be sure on.
People want Colonel Richard freed.
No less than we expect of a man who strove to be my rival. His popularity endures even after his capture and shaming. The Colonel was very skilled and competent, and everyone knows that. It isn't unusual for all to see people regret losing him.
No, I would personally bet those letters not being related to our little threat. Requesting something of the royal hand is one thing. Trying to force it to do something is a whole different thing altogether.
Well, still, even knowing letters exist helps. Oh, one more thing, Hilda. I wanted to ask you about something else.
Estelle asked Hilda about the Hayworths. Harold Hayworth, a traitor class from Crossbell? Yes, I remember him.
Oh, fetch!
Say what?
Is he an acquaintance of yours, Hilda? Not as such. He asked for a tour of the castle interior a few days ago. Happened to be otherwise unoccupied, and I showed him about. His wife and daughter were with him as well.
Really? Hey!
Alas, this provides us with little clue as to the way of where the Hayworths may have gone. Yes, my apologies. There was something that bothered me, however. What would that be? Their child greatly enjoyed the tour, however. Her parents felt as though they were barely even present throughout the entire thing. They seemed even-tempered and normal enough when they spoke to me, but when combined with your story, I wonder if they were under strain.
Not able to pay attention after coming to see the palace as a tourist. Sounds like something was on their minds, all right.
Yes, it seems likely they were in some kind of trouble even then.
This may give us a clue as to where they went.
Thank you very much, Hilda. I think this gave us some good leads.
I'm glad it could be of help. Oh, Princess. You'll be staying here in the castle tonight, I trust, and if your friends like accommodations...
But?
I had intended to stay here while you were at Grancel, yes, but, you know. Well, how about it, everyone?
You forget, they are expecting me to be a pest at the embassy tonight. I can hardly disappoint.
I do appreciate the offer, however.
Yeah, I've got basically a permanent room at the Calverdian embassy. Thanks, but I've got to decline this time.
I should probably ask Tina before committing to anything. We got Renne, too.
That's true. Sounds like she loves the castle. I shall keep rooms ready in case you wish to stay.
Thanks, Hilda.
Thank you, Hilda. Not at all. I must return to the maid's quarters. Please let me know if you need anything else. If you pardon me.
Okay, we still need to meet with the Queen. She should be in her chambers, right?
Yes, I'd be surprised if she isn't.
Let us not keep her waiting, then. Alright, well that was productive, and we actually got our first real lead on Renne's parents. I keep wanting to call her Renne. I didn't technically find the maid's quarters. I probably should, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything before I talk to the Queen. And I'm a little nervous about going onto the roof at the minute. Alright, I already explored over here. So, I need to find the maid quarters, which is, I think, down here. I thought this was the maid's quarters. Oh, yep, it is. Okay.
Could even imagine a young girl being involved in all this. I hope you find her parents soon.
Alright. Now we've done everything else. Let's go see the Queen. And go and find our little encounter spots. Oh wait, maybe it's not. Oh, this is the throne room. Okay.
Such a relief the Duke's staying over at the villa. After all, the Duke was always staring at people with those lurcherous, dirty eyes. Ugh.
I agree. I am so glad he's staying at the villa. Alright, right. Upstairs. There was an upstairs, at least this way. There it is. It was here, right? The last place we saw him? It was either here or down there. It's been a little bit. I genuinely wondered if we were gonna have like Estelle have a reflection, like a reflective moment if we came up here. Doesn't seem to be the case. Well, I'll have one for you, Estelle. This place sucks. It's a beautiful location, but the events were so horrific. I don't even want to think about it. Let's make doubly sure by exploring everywhere, though. Huh? Is she on the balcony? Oh, there's another room.
Ah, you finally arrived.
Huh? Grandmother?
Hey! I don't think this is... Oh, it is Seek.
Scree! Bah, Sieg!
I see. Sieg was being thoughtful, wasn't he?
Yes, he let me know you were coming. Welcome home, Claudia. And Estelle, you are always welcome so long as I remain queen. Your father explained everything not long after you left to train. It pains me to know you carry such a burden. Oh, thank you very much, Your Majesty. Still, I know what I gotta do, and Chloe's been a huge help. So I'm okay, don't worry. I see. Your soul has gained new steel since last we met, Estelle. Master Vaketh and Mr. Lydon, both you, of course, are welcome in my home. Let us retire to my chambers. I have some tea prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, so you've come about the letters. I wasn't aware they'd been sent to the cathedral and embassies as well. Your fears are not groundless. It's difficult to think of such lengths as mere childish prank. Yes, Your Highness. That's why we're trying to talk to the people affiliated with the case, see if we can find any clues.
Grandmother, do you have any idea who might be responsible? Especially someone within Liberl?
Claudia, what do you think?
Me?
As a possible heir, your thoughts should daily be on forces moving within our nation. Would you share your opinion with me?
Very well. I don't believe there's any force in the country which is truly opposed to the pact. I've heard of various places, however, that following the coup, some of our extreme right-wing citizens feel very concerned. Their frustrations might be the root of the letters. Maybe.
Very good. My opinion is more or less the same. Sorry, but I don't quite follow.
Alan,
Colonel Richard was not the only man who approved the idea of expanding and empowering our military. In the wake of the failed coup, however, the matter is effectively untouchable. I can only imagine all who shared his mindset are quite dissatisfied and worried for our safety. Ah, okay, so you think the letters are from believers in the military control and expansion, like the intelligence division guy still on the run? That would be assured of it, yes. If that is the case, then I would say I bear the responsibility for this as much as they. If it is my beliefs that led them to take such actions in the first place, after all.
Grandmother.
I don't know. I don't think they have the right to be a blah. Let's threaten people to be scary because we're sore losers. No, there are few things more precious than freedom to express oneself, Estelle. Remember, even those who promote military empowerment or a war footing do so out of the love for Liberl and its people. They have as much right to express that idea as any of us have ours. And listening to such opinions and choosing how to guide the country, that's the ruler's responsibility.
That's an interesting point, and I think that's why it is really important to preserve the right for protest. I know people get real upset, especially when protesters choose to do things that really, like, negatively affect, like, the flow of life. But we also need to respect that, like, there's a measure of free speech and an ability to protest that needs to be allowed despite how annoying it can be. When it crosses lines, when it gets into, like, dangerous situations, that's when it becomes problematic. It's also problematic when, you know, authority figures such as police, military reserves, and leaders stoke the fires and try to make things more violent, because that is crossing a line. Property damage, violence, and harm to people and emergency services absolutely is taking it too far. It's one thing to protest and to stand for something and to believe that like things are going wrong in your nation, but especially one that's democratic based, like taking it to such extremes when there are like legal and reasonable means to try and like change the direction of policy in your nation. It's very dangerous, and it's very threatening, because if we were lucky enough to be in a position where you have a vote and you can actually impact through public opinion the directions the nation goes in, tossing that aside because you believe you are right and your opponents are wrong, and if they are in control at all, then your way of life is threatened. That's a very dangerous road to walk. In fact, it's what the colonel was trying to do. He was trying to form a coup because he was believing that the people in power were being either too naive or just too dismissive of the threats that he perceived, and thus he decided to take things into his own hands and nearly destroy the entire nation. So it definitely would have subverted it if he'd been successful. That's not a way to go about things. Now, there are times where a nation or in nations people need to resist because they live under threat of actual execution, of actual like oppression, of genuine like threat to life and limb, and a ostracification, dehumanization of other people for whatever reason. It is starting to cross lines at that point to resist in whatever means necessary. But you have to understand that if you step into that barrier, that you are electing to go up against authority that likely can take drastic steps to make your life very painful for a very long time. And it's tough knowing the difference, because to whoever's in power, anybody who's willing to go to those lengths is just going to be labeled as a terrorist, or as a warmonger, or just a troublemaker, when nations like mine were founded off of the backs of treasonous troublemakers. So, like, you know, it's hard to judge at what point it's necessary for that to happen. I think that's a battle that we all have to make a choice of for ourselves, just understanding the weight of those choices and how far they can end up taking us. It's a very interesting thing to talk about, like when government goes astray and trying to contemplate at what point drastic measures must be taken. But I think if you have the ability to protest, it doesn't require things being that desperate and that far. If protest itself can lead to imprisonment and death, then I feel like there's not very much room for anything else. But again, that's not something I can really offer advice for. The world's a crazy place and it's ever changing. And I think the most important thing is for people to realize that even if it feels small, and even if it feels like there's nothing dramatic that you have an effect on in your governments, that it's people who built governments in the first place, and it's people who ultimately are going to be the ones that make the changes. And sometimes it just requires faith and determination to try and start that process. But it's also really scary, and I'd be terrified if I was like inadvertently advising somebody to like put their lives on the line. But I also believe that there are causes that are worth doing that for. So, you know, don't just be super passive, letting things go. And if you have the right to vote, go freaking vote. Do you know how easy we could lose that? Do you know how easy it could be trivialized and invalidated? We see that in the world today. There are places that claim they have democracy, but it's pretty clear they don't, because any attempt to do anything that sways the status quo gets immediately stomped out of existence and people magically fall out windows. So, yeah. If you have democracy, fight for it. Fight to keep it. If you don't, maybe it's worth fighting for. It's not a perfect system, but my gosh, it feels like it's a lot better than a lot of the other alternatives I've seen. Anyway, enough about rambling about political nonsense. Tough, in that case. I'd rather doubt they'd actually try to stop the ceremony, yes?
Assuming the letters from the expansionism, yes, that's quite possible.
With Colonel Richard under arrest, they have little power to which to act. The problem lies with the idea that someone else may be responsible. If that is the case, then I fear I can offer you little advice or knowledge. Ah, rats!
Queen Alicia, if I may broach a question.
Of course, Oliver, whatever you wish.
Why are you so determined to act upon the non-aggression pact now? Your own country is still deeply confused and unsettled from the coup attempt. Most rulers would think it to be a time to focus solely on one's own country, not the affairs of others.
Oliver, you are talking to a queen, you know. It's alright, Estelle. Oliver has a point. The plans and proposals for the pact, however, far predate the coup. Further delays would only harm the dignity of the nation. The cross-spell issue was causing a great deal of friction against us as well. I hope this can help. Cross-spell? That's where Renne's from, isn't it?
Yes, it lies due northeast of here, over the Crone Mountains, and directly between it are Bonia and Calvert.
Yeah, so if Liberl's a small nation tucked in, then Crossbell is even tinier. It almost looks like not a Vatican City, because that's even smaller, but it looks to me like a Lithuania type of situation, or maybe a mini Switzerland.
Both the Republic and Empire claim it should be part of their governments, and some Crossbellians want total independence. It's quite a mess.
Oh, so yeah, no, it's even worse than that. Crossbell is basically a fishbone stuck in two throats at once. All the issues surrounding it just get called the Crossbell problem.
I see. Why, no wonder people get worked up about it then.
Ah, so your aim is to pluck out the bone with this pact, then?
To continue the analogy, it's not a bone that can be removed in one gesture, sadly. If I can open a way to resolve the issue, however, yes. Laying the groundwork for resolving that issue will strengthen peace across the entire region, and people will remember Liberl spurred it on.
I have underestimated even you even more than I previously thought. Our invasion of Liberl was far more of a fool's errand than I'd ever imagined. That must at least is painfully obvious to me now.
What are you going on about? Oh, Crossbell! Ren, duh! Sorry to change the subject, Your Majesty, but...
Estelle asked Queen Alicia about Ren's parents.
My goodness, a child abandoned at the royal villa. Must instruct Raymond to keep better informed, it seems. I know it's a shot in the dark, but I don't suppose you have any idea where they might be, Your Majesty? Oh, I am very sorry, but I do not. However, if they visited the castle, especially recently, Hilda would know of it. Have you spoken with her? Yeah, we did.
Hilda only said they were behaving a little strangely.
I see. Well, should you wish, I can contact Mayor McDowell of the Crossbell government. If that would help, ask whatever you need. Oh, thanks!
Grandmother, thank you for all your help. We need to move on, unfortunately. But,
Don't be nervous. I know what you wish to say, I think. You will be staying in the castle tonight, yes? Let us speak then, once you're no longer busy.
All right.
Interesting. I wonder what Chloe's gonna say. I wonder if she's formally gonna request that she become the heir.
My goodness, such royalty. I would say she's truly the only person on the continent with a sense of balance.
Yeah, sort of feels weird to say coming from a democracy, but she's the perfect ruler. Kind of envy Liberl, to be honest.
Of course.
I think, I grew up hearing the saying, which is interesting to hear it said, but it was said that, like, if kings would perfect, they would be no better government than to have perfect kings, because they would have the decisiveness and ability to act with impunity, and the forthwith knowledge and desire to protect their people at the utmost of their ability. If you could always guarantee your kings could have that, then it might be the best form of government. But because you cannot guarantee that, and there's an inherent flaw in the fact that people are different from each other, and putting power in one place is a recipe for disaster in the long term, that's why things like democracies are better. It kind of puts a bunch of flawed people together and hopes that they can muddle through and keep things from getting too bad. Which I feel like still isn't perfect, obviously, but far better than a lot of alternatives.
Of course. She's the queen, after all. Chloe, what's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just struck again by how incredible a woman Grandmother is. I really doubt I can ever live up to her.
Oh.
Princess, when did Her Majesty the Queen take the throne? Oh, she was 20 if I recall correctly.
And may I ask your age?
I'm 16, but what? Ah.
My point. I truly doubt Her Majesty was a master politician the day she took the throne.
And you are not even old enough, as old as she was when she first donned the purple.
I see little point in comparing yourself to her as she is now, wouldn't you agree? We martial artists tend to say that only those with the proper capacity can achieve this thing called unity of purpose. Even those with the greatest innate skill, like say Walter, only reach their peak through a journey of 1,000 steps. I think Her Majesty believes you have that capacity to get there, Princess. Just take it one step at a time, don't worry.
Oliver, Zin, thank you, really.
Good job, you two. Chloe's gonna be an awesome queen someday. I guess you get good when you pep talks and get older, huh?
Get older? How rude. I'm fresh, youthful 25. 5 years younger than Zin here, even. You're one to call out someone on being rude, Oliver.
Well, anyway, we've spoken to Hilda and Grandmother both.
Yep, back to town then, I guess.
Yes, let's be off.
Now, if anyone's gonna have information on Renne's parents, it's gonna be Niall for sure. Alright, I think that's pretty much everything here so far. Wait a minute. I should see if I can get on the balcony and maybe talk to the Queen one last time. Not sure why I didn't think about that, but let's go ahead and do that. Thanks to Cassius's tireless service, the Royal Army is well on its way to being rebuilt. Choose the best path, then walk it. To put it in the words simply, but nothing is harder than putting it into practice. He's one of the few who knows how to walk such paths. I'm sure he'd dearly love to spend his days living peacefully with you, Estelle. I must never lose sight of being a queen worthy of loyalty like your father's. Aww. Fish! There's a fish down there! That's awesome! I definitely won't be able to catch anything here, but I love this. Okay, so I just got the bamboo rod. Most basic rod and tackle limits usable types of bait. Alright, let's see if I can try something different. Lakes and rivers loved by aggressive fish, but normal fish won't usually bite. So that's good for rarer ones. A carp. I'm actually catching stuff. Another carp. Big carp. Another decent carp. Alright, I'll be done for now. But I do feel like this is like, if there's a place I could catch like the big guardian of the lake, it's gonna be here. I'll have to remember that. But yeah, that's beautiful. I'm glad I came back out here to check. It's so funny. Fishing off the balcony of the queen's balcony just seems so ridiculous.
Evening already. Time does fly when you're having fun. The only letter victim we have yet to visit is the Liberl News.
Yep.
Well, let's not waste any more time, eh? Let's get over there and see what's what. Now that we've seen a passage of time, we're absolutely going back to the guild and gonna go find Tita and Renne.
Oh, Estelle, how's the questioning going?
I asked about the castle and the embassies. Now I just need to check in with Niall the Liberl News.
Well then, once that's done, come back and report.
I should be back soon. Alright, so no new missions as of yet.
This lady I've never met asked me if I'd marry her son. I can't really marry someone I've never met.
The evening sun dyed in white clouds such a brilliant scarlet color. And to me, such a small piece of the grand scheme of things. Hey, Ricky. I, whom so insignificant, what should I do? Why don't you try running after the evening sun? Not sure how much it'll accomplish, but you might find yourself feeling better just from the flow of things.
You were talking to that black-haired Imperial soldier, weren't you? Yes, I'm a big fan of his.
Oh, that's creepy.
Whoa, this is incredible! I think there are things like this in the ancient past. Truly, they are treasures of humanity.
Could archaeology be the greatest man's romance that surpasses even treasure hunting? If that is future, is he gonna become an archaeologist? That'd be hilarious. I'd love that. I think that actually would be really fitting. He becomes Indiana Jones. It belongs in a museum! Chirp, chirp, chirp? Oh. Oh! This isn't the airport. This is the port. Holy crap, I've never been here. This is what you must have meant.
Okay, I think we better be getting back to the lodge. I'm gonna have meat. And what will I have for dinner tonight? I want some fish.
Maybe she could have been so busy lately, but time feels like it flies on by. Now work's over, maybe I'll invite everyone to go out drinking. I've been working real hard today, you know? Alright, this is it. Gonna be the day. I'm gonna have my ice cold beer on my way home. Yeah, right, I can barely handle alcohol. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say it. You and me both, brother. It's our day is just perfect. Best time for fishing. That mean there's another fishing spot?
Holy crap, that's incredible. You're so smart.
Really? Oh, no, I gotta be stricter than that. Getting real hungry. What should I eat today? Everyone's just food hungry. I'm getting hungry. Like real life hungry. I need to go eat something. Oh, you can go in here. Oh, try to see customers come in without an appointment. Hey, you're the people who beat the casino in Rouen.
Nice to see you too, I guess.
Listen, please. After that, I tried making up for the money and I lost all the kinds of gambles, but that match with you was where my luck turned. When I realized everything I'd won disappeared, well...
Really? That's kind of sad.
Gambling for riches is not but a fleeting dream of a single night destined never to come true. Yeah, if I'd only figured it out sooner. Guess it's true of anything, but you should always know when to quit. I didn't, and I made things hard for my wife because of that, and I'm gonna have to do all I can to make it up to her. Good boy, man. So he works the harbor. Cool. Ugh, worked my butt off today. It's okay, that's cool. A little Easter egg, like, if we can set him straight from his gambling ways, he gets a job in the docks in Grancel. Where the fetch am I going? This is the biggest, like, how did I never come here? This place is huge. How much you want to bet I'm gonna get in a fight down here sometime? Oh, I didn't think the little family over there makes for a pretty picture. I don't know why, but it brings a tear to my eye.
Oh, finally. You gave me a real scare. I'm never letting you go again.
Mama.
Oh, is that the little kid that I saw earlier? Oh, okay. Oh, worked up a good sweat today. Why is everyone so determined to tell me that they're hungry or that they're sweaty?
Twilight only works makes a serious magic on me. It feels bittersweet or lonely, perhaps.
You've heard about the election going on in Rouen, right? I wonder who everyone in Rouen is going to choose for the next mayor. Got a soft spot for the harbor myself. Like the idea of a man like Portis taking the job. That Mr. Norman's a pretty persuasive fellow, though. Oh, fishing! Alright, what else do we use here? Holy crap, it actually caught something. A Valeria bass. And a mirage ring. Whoa, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. What is that? Okay, hang on, we're gonna check that out real quick, because I remember a mirage ring being something of interest. Prevents petrify. Oh, okay. Okay, it's not what I thought it was. Alright, another one of those. Okay, that's enough for now. Still, pretty cool. I found that I was led to that. Boat gliding across the evening sea. Me standing stoically upon its prow. How about it? Doesn't that paint a melancholy picture, a romantic one even? I admit, I love boats. Like, I've always loved traveling on the water. I grew up being able to do that at my grandfather's, and it's been, it's kind of a dream of mine to be able to get to do that again. But a boat, if you don't live on the water, it feels like such a frivolous thing to buy. Oh, this is quite the sunset.
Why, what a lovely bit of scenery.
Now the fact that I can interact with that means I might be coming back here. I'm super sweaty right now. Just want to dive in head first in the lake. It's supposed to get really hot here actually this coming week. We're probably gonna go. We're gonna try and go up to a lake because it's forecast to get up to 92 degrees Fahrenheit. I do not know what that is in Celsius, but I'm pretty sure it's in the the like maybe 39 degrees, maybe 40. I'm not quite sure where it crosses that threshold. Okay, well, that was a lot to explore up here. I don't think I've even done yet. All right, this is where he is. Yeah, his job for the harbor. Okay. Right. Well, that was nice. Still no Tita or Renne. Oh, hey, I got Estelle. You finished your questioning? Mine's probably gonna take a little while, so you're done. You can head back to the guild and wait.
Those parents and their child were quite striking. I remember them well.
A short while ago, we had an inquiry from the History Museum about an artifact. It is true the church has a duty to collect and investigate artifacts. It's also true that there are special organizations within the church dedicated to that purpose. Why, you ask? Because the church itself is a neutral body. The artifact delivered to the History Museum has lost its power, however. It isn't part of our collection mission. I really can't think of anywhere else. Chirp. I like how the birds have names. The Liberl News might be the only place left. I really feel like I've been in literally every other building that's like of note. Maybe not the Fishers Guild. Oh, look at this. The map. Are those just city map markers, or are they actually like fishing points? Not sure. I really am not sure where they are. I feel like I've looked literally everywhere. I'm gonna do one more pass of the east block just to see if I missed something, but if I don't see them, I'm just gonna go back to the newspaper. Maybe they're at the newspaper. I don't like that I can't find them. I have a feeling that's gonna become pretty important in the near future. All right, here we go.
Now then, time's come around. I'm gonna call it a day. The reporters are always here late. Must be hard. I always feel a little bad for leaving before them every day. The Imperial Ambassador and the Republic Ambassador. I've interviewed both of them. They're pretty weird if you ask me. Never talked about the important things. Especially Ambassador Carrigan. Carrigan of the Empire. His comments are absolutely unprintable.
Oh, Estelle.
Hiya, Chief. It's been a while.
What do you need today? Business with Niall?
Yeah, got some questions on guild business. Is he back from Iran yet?
Yep, should be in the office. I think I saw him go up to the reference room. Sweet. Finally sent off to the press. Gonna get something delicious to eat at the cafe and regain some of my fighting spirit. There's our boy.
There he is. Hey, Niall. Hello.
Who the hell? Well, what do you know? You guys, how you doing?
Good day, Niall.
Pardon our intrusion. Oh, it's a bard guy, and, your highness. Good day to you, yeah. You have Sydney Immovable of Calvard with you. That's kind of a gang going here still.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff happened since we last met. How'd your coverage of the election in Renne go?
Damn well, that's how. Got the article done, thanks in part to you guys. Speaking of, what brings you today? Got an odd scoop for your old buddy Niall?
Well, actually, we're the ones who'd like to know something. We heard the Liberl News received a threatening letter.
You guys investigating that thing? I figured the military would have been taking care of that one.
We're working with a request with the military, actually. So, do you know anything?
Well, I happened to get back to the capital, so I don't know much. To be honest, it's like I'd like to hear what you guys know, if anything.
That's real helpful, Niall.
Come now, you're a newsman. A hound for a good story. Surely you must have a clue as to who our villain is.
I don't have time for this.
That's a bit impolite, you two. Niall, I know this is a lot to ask, but please, if you know anything at all, share it with us. Please?
Whoa, hey, your highness, I don't need you lowering your head to me. For crying, fine. Okay, so this is off the record, but we ain't the only ones that got a letter, not even close. Lestian Fortress got one. Then the Cathedral, Airship Company, Hotel Rosenbaum, and then both embassies, Grancel Castle and Orbal Villa got one too. There were 9 letters in total. Huh? Something wrong?
Niall, we heard this all from the military already.
What? Dang it, that was my big scoop for the day. Doesn't look like we're gonna get much out of this.
Yeah, time to move on, I think.
No, you wait just a second, Missy. You keep talking like that, Danielle Burns, the star reporter of the Liberl News, is gonna have a name with a pile of crap. All right. Let me in on my take on the whole mess.
Well, okay.
You may want to be brief, Mr. Burns.
Fine, listen up. Here's the short of it. My gut's telling me this is some kind of huge prank. The threats aren't real.
We thought that too.
You sound awfully sure, though. Mind telling us why you're so convinced?
Okay, trick is, I've covered terrorist threats like this before, right? But with this, there's no reality to the threat. Threats only work if they have power to describe, or at least imply, something nasty will happen, see? These letters have exactly none of that.
Mr. Burns does have a point. Disaster will be visited upon you does not offer much in the way of a specific terror.
Exactly. I'm not all insistent about stopping the ceremony signing at all. This is more about getting people worked up over a threat than sitting back and watching the fireworks.
I see. That's kind of a good point.
There is some sense behind it. I'm still bothered by the fact that so many letters were sent, though. And each and every one was sent to a place involved with the ceremony. Yes, for a prank, whoever did this seems to know a lot about what's happening.
That does seem kind of true on the surface. Think about it though, all that info would be pretty easy to find with a little digging. Hell, I knew about those places weeks ago. Anyway, gotta be working on this assumption that it's a prank. Maybe you guys should stick your guns about being the real threat. We could compare notes later, huh?
Yeah, good idea. Thanks, Niall. That actually helped a lot.
Dang right it did. Just stop by if you want to swap stories. I'll be sitting around here till the pact's signed.
Okay. Oh, speaking of sitting around here, I don't see Dorothy anywhere.
Ah, right. She's off working the Bose region. Sent her to snag some photos.
Wait, for a special of some kind?
Yeah, right, to the Royal Army. You remember the old fort the Sky Bandits were using at the base, right? The one you guys busted. The Army decided those rats had the right idea. Claimed they were repurposing it as a training facility. They're running airship pilot training out there now.
Oh, okay, neat. So she went out to get coverage at the base then?
That's the idea, yeah. I was a little worried sending her out on her own, but gotta do it sometime.
Dorothy on her own, huh? Scary. Oh wait, duh, speaking of girls out on their own.
What's up?
Estelle explained the situation with Renne's parents.
Harold Hayworth, the trader from Crossbell. Never heard of the guy. Pretty sure he's never been to our classifieds or our wanted column either.
Figures.
But hey, that's part of the job, right? If you guys are totally stuck, I'll help you out. We can put up the classifieds if you want. I even have a few people at Crossbell I could poke.
Thanks, Niall. You're way more reliable than I thought you'd be. I think I need to upgrade my opinion of you.
Of course you do. Wait a minute, what do you mean? I was not reliable before?
Just kidding.
Alright, let's get back to the guild house then. Agatha should be back by now.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you again, Niall.
Yeah, it was no big deal. Come by anytime. I spent all day walking around and got a big load of nothing. Hope Dorothy managed to find something.
Alright, I think we're good. I really want to see where the girls are, but I really turned this whole place upside down. I don't think that they're anywhere to be found. I've been seeing a man with disheveled green hair going about the cathedral a lot. Is he a priest or something? Ah, yeah, can't say he looked particularly, holy. Yeah, that's, whatever his name is. Okay. Well, darn it. I'm sure I missed them and they're somewhere really reasonable and I walked right past them or something.
We're back!
Yo, there you are.
Sorry, I know we're a bit late. Hey, where's Tina and Renne?
They returned just before you did. I believe they're enjoying the spoils of their hard-fought shopping campaign on the second floor.
Sounds like they had fun. Anyway, we got a lot to report.
Yes, please.
I see. Not bad. Sounds like you guys learned a lot.
I guess. We didn't get anything decisive, though. Agatha, did you find anything?
Honestly, got jack all. Hotel, cathedral, the airship company. Nobody had a single friggin' clue who could have sent the letters. The head guy at the airship company was sweating quarters that the damn end of money might come in next. But at this point, it's not as much of a peep.
Dang. Doesn't really narrow things down much. How likely do you think it is the society's behind all this?
I don't think we can safely say that at this point. Their primary focus up till now has been experimenting with those bizarre gospel ornaments they possess. And we know the gospels can create phenomena otherwise unimaginable. Those devices certainly have shown an ability to create threatening letters from nowhere, however.
Yeah, that doesn't really seem like it matches the society's MO.
Huh, I guess Ron and Zeiss just have me on edge.
No, it's perfectly understandable. Regardless, I think we can safely bet we've done our part. I'll compile all your testimonies into a report. Could I ask you to deliver it to Colonel Sid at the Era of Royal Villa tomorrow?
Sure. We didn't find the sender in the end. I feel kind of bad, but guess that's all we can do. Oh, Arab, right. Did you find anything out about Renne?
I did actually, wait, let me start over. Went into the hotel first. The kid and her folks stayed there for about 2 weeks. Same room the entire stay, typical tourist stuff. They just checked out this morning.
Okay.
Then I went to the cathedral. While they were there, the Haywards came to worship a bunch of times. Thing is, the priest who attended them said they felt off when they did. Like they were distracted during prayers or something.
That would match with what Miss Hilda said.
Yeah.
And then the airship company. That's where I found Zip.
Wait, what?
Harold, Sophia, Renne, Hayworth of Crossbill, right? There have been exactly 0 passengers with that name and nationality coming through here in at least half a year.
No way, but...
That is a mystery. Though perhaps they traveled by land.
Wait. We saw them in the tunnel. Coming from... Gosh darn it. We just talked... Ruan. Didn't Renne say they came by ship? I could have sworn she mentioned that.
Wait a minute, that can't be right. When we first met her, she was talking about landing in an airship.
Right, the Airleton. She said she saw a big lake on the way down.
Traveling. It's possible they were traveling under assumed names.
Assumed names? Why would they?
They may have had something to hide, or they may have been hiding from someone. Either way, they must have known something was wrong before they set out.
I've contacted every guild branch in the country about Renne's parents. For the moment, all we can do is wait for more information to come in. As for Renne herself, I think it would be best if she stayed in the care of the guild for now.
Yeah, I feel terrible she got wrapped up in something. Could you leave her with me, maybe? This mission kind of feels personal now.
I was going to suggest that, actually. Thank you. The guild will pay for everyone's lodgings while you're in Grancel, naturally. That includes Renne, so don't worry.
Thanks, Eleanor. Oh wait, speaking of staying the night, we might not actually need that tonight, you see?
Estelle told Agatha about the invitation to stay at the castle.
My, that's quite an invitation.
Yeah, I think I'll pass. Castle's a bit too rich for my blood, not really keen on staying there. Besides, it'll be easier for Eleanor to reach one of us at the hotel if something happens.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. We might hear something about Renne's parents. Guess I should stay at the hotel too then. Sorry, Chloe.
No, don't worry. I'll explain the situation to Hilda. I'm sure she won't mind.
Zin and I are to stay at our respective embassies.
The princess shall retire to her castle, naturally. So that means you two and the girls will be staying at the hotel then. Partying on these terms would be dreadfully dull. Since we're all together this evening, shall we enjoy a nice dinner at the bar?
Good idea. And you know, I'd actually like to hear you play the piano again, Oliver. It's been a while.
Ah, sweet maiden, you know just how to pluck my heartstrings. Have you come to appreciate the mature flower of a last, I wonder?
I'm gonna snap those heartstrings if you keep this up.
Snapping or no, we should get going. With a group this large, it could be hard to find seating. Alright, let's gather the kids and get over to the bar. That evening, Estelle's group with Renne had dinner at the Sunnybell Inn. Oliver, as it was second nature, took to the piano after a few drinks. Ultimately, even Mueller and Niall came over to join. And so passed a pleasant evening in Grancel. How sweet. And now for boating. This is gonna be a long episode.
Okay, let's split up here then. Chloe, be careful on your way home.
I think it's not that far. I think I'll be fine in the capital.
Huh? Miss Chloe, you live in Grancel.
Yes, I do. I'll be staying at my grandmother's house. Well, if you pardon me.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Chloe. Wow, that's one heck of a party. Oliver even dragged poor Mueller into it.
Yeah, well, you called that a reporter too, you know.
Well, I figured, what the heck. Ren, do you have fun? Yeah, I did. The food was good and everyone was talking about neat stuff. The piano music was really pretty too. Yeah, Oliver's really good at it. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, he's not a hot air when he calls himself a traveling performer, I guess.
Sure, you want to duck out already, Agat? Then the others are still having a lot of fun.
Yeah, honestly, if I tried keeping up with Zen, I might not have a liver in the morning. Plus, I'm kind of beat from trolling the city all day, so I'm gonna pack it in.
Fair enough. Let's go get the hotel rooms then.
Felt like something was gonna happen there, but it didn't.
Pardon, neither bracers in the company we're expecting. Forgive me, but we're unable to secure a 4-person room for you. Would you be willing to accept a pair of 2-person rooms?
Oh, sure. How do you want to split them up, Agat?
I don't care too much. Set it up however you want.
I want to be with Miss Estelle. You've been busy with work, so we haven't had any time to talk at all. No fair, Ren. I wanted to be with Estelle too. Then you should have said so sooner, Slowpoke. I know. What if all 3 of us stayed in the same room? We could share a bed. No, that's okay. I'll let you borrow Estelle for tonight, Ren. Thank you, Tita. I think I'll just got horse traded.
Then I'll be with you, kiddo. That just reminds me of when we were hiding out with Gramps.
Now you mention it. Yeah, it does.
I'm sure she's quite delighted with this arrangement.
Oh, Raoul, this room isn't anything like the one I stayed with Papa and Mama. There's a big building outside the window.
Oh, it's this room. So Joshua, I have to share a room for a while.
Miss Estelle, what's wrong? Nothing really. More importantly, I'm sorry, Ren. We couldn't find your Papa or Mama today. It's okay. Papa and Mama promised they'd come get me. You don't need to search so hard. But Papa and Mama are very good at hide and seek. Not as good as me, of course, but still good. So I don't think you'll find them very easily. Huh, is that right? Well, I won't try so hard to find them, but only if you're okay with it. Yeah, it's okay. It's for the best. But never mind that right now. I have 2 big favors to ask you. Oh, what's up? Haha. I can't tell you unless you promise to do them ahead of time. Yikes! Did your papa teach you to drive a bargain like that? Okay, sure. If it's something I can do, I promise I will. Really? Yay! The first thing is, can I call you Estelle from now on? Huh? Call me... Oh, you mean drop the whole Miss part? Yeah. Tita gets to call you Estelle all the time, so I don't want to have to call you Miss Estelle. Is that right? Alright, I don't mind. I never stood that much on formality anyway. It's not like I'm your teacher or anything. So you really don't mind? Estelle. Oh, I love it. Glad you like it. Call me Estelle as much as you want, Ren. Okay, Estelle. That makes me so happy. Aw, that's good. So, what was the other thing, Ren? Oh, yeah, well, can you tell me why you were so surprised when we came in the room? You had this really sad, lonely look on your face. I want to know why. Is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. See, I've actually stayed in this very room before with someone else. Stepping in here just reminded me of him. Really? Was he your lover? Was he your love nest? Not quite. He's someone I've known for a really long time. We've gotten very close, but, well, it's complicated. We're not together right now, though. Oh. Well, what kind of man is he, huh? What is his name? What does he look like? Yikes, questions. His name's Joshua. He has black hair, amber eyes. He's pretty handsome, I guess. Actually, you'd really call him more beautiful than handsome, really. Beautiful.
Wait a minute, doesn't Renne have amber eyes too?
Just to say he's a great princess in a certain play. In fact, it looked amazing on him.
It really did.
Wow, that sounds fun. Can I meet him? When are you seeing him again, huh? I don't really know, actually. Oh, you don't know when you'll see him again? That's why you look so sad, right? Sort of, but I'm okay. I'm gonna find him and drag him back home, even if it takes years. But why did you seem so sad? Well, because I'm sure Joshua's off somewhere. in way over his head. And I can't do anything to help him. That makes me sad, I guess. Sorry, Renne. This must be pretty boring since you don't know Joshua at all. No way, it's neat. Joshua's a really wonderful person, huh? Wonderful. Actually, right now, I think he's a bit of a jerk. I mean, talk about selfish ways of saying goodbye, taking my first... Huh? First what? Nothing at all. Okay, yep, I'm all tired. Time to go to sleep. Hey, no fair. I'm not going to sleep until I hear the whole thing. Boy, I messed that one up.
After that, Estelle and Renne went to bed, but remained awake for a little while talking about various things. Eventually, once she could hear nothing but Renne's slow, peaceful breathing, Estelle gave in to the exhaustion which had been piling up on her eyelids and fell to sleep herself. Oh boy, here they are. Abandoned mine. Oh, this must be up in Roland. Like the area above Roland. Because I think that was the mine they closed off because the monsters got too dangerous.
Bingo.
Bingo indeed. Looks like we found their trail. So they're using Revenue Mine, Just what I'd expect Richard meant. This is an excellent hiding place.
This is where the Sky Bandits kept the ship they hijacked, right?
Oh, it's that one. Okay, so this is outside of Bose.
That's right. Stella and I fought the bandits in large and exposed Central Hollow area somewhere further ahead.
A nice big open space, huh? Bet our guys are in the same spot. So what do you think? We going for the heroic charge now, or...?
Well, we've no time to contact the army. But no heroics right away, Annalise. First we need to sneak in, see just how large a force they have. Come on.
Right behind you.
Please don't get captured. It'd be really good if you could, preferably if you could send a message so that people knew you were going in. But this is what bracers are doing. This is what they do.
That's odd. This is where they've been hiding as we thought. But I don't see any trace of... anyone.
Yeah, we totally tracked them here. So where'd all the intelligent weirdos go?
It's a trap.
Did they notice us? I didn't think we... Well, let's have a look around and...
No good, this place is an empty shell. Did you see anything, Schera?
I'm drawing a blank. They were here, but it's impossible to tell they were just out or did they abandon the base. I don't even see any clues as to where they might have gone.
Unless they had an airship.
About that, I didn't find any mention of where they were going, but I did find this over in that tent.
Really? Mind if I take a look? These are blueprints of some sort. Looks like it's for something named the Orgelli. Unless I'm totally illiterate, these are planned for a vehicle of some sort.
Ooh, Orgelli, that sounds cool. What is it, some kind of airship?
Well, I'm not exactly an engineer, but I don't think so. These look like...
Is it a boring device? Like a drilling machine?
What's wrong?
There's a note between the pages. I've sent out the invitations. They've got the table and chairs ready. Everything's ready for the tea party.
The invitations are the threats.
Now I need to do is bake some crumpets and wait for the guests to arrive.
Aw, tea party, that's really cute. It's like something out of a storybook.
Yes, which means it's a cipher of some sort. What do you think means tea party, I wonder? Watch out!
Ah. Oh, fetch me!
No way! How'd they sneak up on us?
Goodness, that was a fair bit of sneaking, friends. I take it that's another trick our good friend Lawrence taught you?
Schera?
I know, something here isn't right. Alright, we'll feign to one side, break for a corner triangle, and clean up the rest. Can you do it?
Just when, say when.
Alright, go!
Right!
Oh, am I supposed to do this attack, or am I supposed to just watch them get blown away? This is actually me fighting. Ooh, don't like that. Okay. Can I save? No. I have a bad feeling about this. Stop the poison. There we go. No, okay, so this is the area. I said I can't get all of them, but I wanted to stop the crit from landing. Get him! Get him, Analace! Boom. Yes. Ow. Yes, thought so. And then I can get this last one. Okay. Not meant to lose. Very good.
Seems you came up short.
55 and 53. That was... We may have defeated them, but something is terribly wrong here.
You think they were on drugs or something? I remember hearing they used to something like use something like that to control things in Iran, I think.
Yes, that was one of the cases Estelle solved. But this wasn't what she described. This was like trying to whip a tree.
Ha! We got what great fun! You two are not bad, are you? What a treat!
Is this gonna be that little, like the shorter guy?
You.
Haha! I'm Enforcer number 0, Campello the Fool. I'm but one hand at the Society of Ouroboros.
Finally decided to step out of the shadows, have we? What exactly are you plotting here, boy? Where have our former intelligence men gone? Answer me.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'm a little more than an observer this time. You're asking the wrong person if you want details about the plan. In fact, I barely know them myself.
An observer.
Anyway, if you want to attend the tea party, you'd better hurry. I'm not quite sure where it's being held, but it isn't here. Or shall we stir some coffee instead and enjoy a dawn together?
Kid, you look pretty young. Are you really part of the society? I don't mean to be insulting or anything, but you might want to get away from them. They're bad people.
You're very kind, miss. But you know, it's okay to laugh at a fool. That's what he's here for. But worrying about the fool, now that's quite rude.
Huh? What? But they were unconscious.
You braces really are naive. If you really want to defeat someone, you have to break them to pieces, like so.
Don't fetch me! Oh wait. The Blue Knight! They're dolls! That's why! They're puppet dolls! He's one of the puppet people! Oh, that's really cool!
What have you done?
How could you? Did I surprise you? It's so easy to break even a well-made toy, isn't it? But I'm afraid that's the end of the Fool show for tonight. Farewell. Hopefully I can give you an encore someday.
Wait, get back!
Sarah,
I know, honey. At least it was a quick death. I hope they didn't feel anything. We still can't simply leave them like this, though. It'd be barbaric. Even more so than what just happened. Annalise, try to find some sheets, alright? I'll handle the rest.
Right. What?
What on?
Schera? I think this arm is fake.
But that...
They're dolls.
Gears, springs, and what look like quartz fragments. I can hardly believe it, but these are...
Anachronisms. Horrible machines capable of independent action. What?
Father Kevin, what are you doing here?
She remembers me. There's hope for my love life yet. Ah, but since this little lady over there doesn't know me, I'm Kevin Graham of the Septum Church. Anyway, you're Scheherazade Harvey, if I remember right, and with you is Annalise Alfred, right? I don't suppose you'd be up for swapping some stories, would you? God, I'm like really making this episode long. Ah! So Joshua is trying to stop this. Kyle, you're up. Here I come. Oh, but if they're dolls, this won't make a difference. Just set. Okay. Joshua. My boy. There are dolls. Ha! Impressive as always, Joshua.
You three were impressive too. We defeated them in a single sweep thanks to your combo attack.
God's eyes are still so messed up. Cut it out. Flattery will get you nowhere. This is like the 10th group, isn't it? How many more do we need to hunt down?
There should be enough. The Royal Army should move soon, so it'd probably be best for us to disappear.
Right then.
Still, just what is the society trying to do? Why use these dolls dressed up as Richard's goons?
That's the real question, though. Where are the rest of the intelligence men?
They've probably gone to the tea party in that note. The dolls are likely to distract the army from that and make them think Richard's men are still active here.
Makes sense, I guess. Wish I knew what the hell the tea party was. Well, we don't have much of a reason to help, but... Sure, you don't want to crush the tea party?
The Bracers should be investigating that camp by now. We can leave it to the army and the guild.
Yeah, we let them a note and plan. That'll be more than enough. And we're taking care of all the freaking puppet things while the guild's busy. We can just leave the rest of that airhead and her group, right? Sorry. Didn't mean to pick up an old wound and anything.
No, you didn't. They have nothing to do with me anymore. Once the tea party begins, the army will be focused on that. We can move once that happens.
Right then. Time to get busy. Oh, Joshua, you suck. I haven't been able to voice him in a while. Sounds like we're up for an exciting morning, huh? The next day, Estelle went to the Arab Royal Villa to give Sid the report on the letters. There's Renne and Tita just playing with the fountain.
I see. This report's very thorough. Thank you very much. You investigated this quite well.
I guess. I'm still kind of miffed we couldn't find out who sent the letters, to be honest.
This is more than enough information for an initial investigation. I doubt we'd uncover the party responsible for the threats at this stage anyway. If anything, this gave me exactly what I needed. Information to consider when we might need to defend against.
Good to hear. So what's been happening with you and the army guys since then?
We finished our initial deployment yesterday. We will be using the villa as a patrol headquarters until the signing ceremony is concluded.
That's why there are so many soldiers out and about. And I'm guessing that's why there were, like, no monsters on the road over here?
We conducted an extensive monster hunting sweep this morning. We'll be performing them periodically until the ceremony ends.
I'm bad you can't do that more often.
Well, you have something of a point. Speaking of civilian concerns, about the girls' parents, the ones you mentioned yesterday, I haven't heard any report of them that they've gone through any of the regional gate ports.
Nuts! Nothing but wait, I guess.
Well, we'll let the guild know the instant we hear anything. For the moment, you've done fine work with this investigation. I'll have your payment wired to the guild ASAP.
Thanks, Colonel Sid. But, what should we do now? You want us to help out with the patrols in the capital once you get back?
Well, if you plan on staying in Grancel, it wouldn't hurt to turn not any help away. I do know you're very busy with other matters, however. Won't insist on you staying.
Well, we still have Renne's situation to deal with, so we'll talk to Elnan about that when we get back.
Sounds like a plan. Sir, excuse me, sir. Black, what's wrong? Don't worry, these people can be trusted. Very well, sir. We received a phone transmission from headquarters in Lestian, sir. Remnants in the intelligence division have been sighted in the Bose region.
What?
No way. Details, man, explain. They were first sighted by some bracers. I'm afraid we don't have all the details on the confrontation yet. However, General Bright has ordered all army stations to stand by at level 2 alert. I see. Thank you, Mr. Belk. I suspect we're going to be busy fairly soon. Yeah, no kidding. Estelle, back to the guild on the double.
Right. Colonel Sid, good luck with your patrols and stuff.
Stay safe, friends. Alright. But we are going to be ending things here for now. And I gotta re-equip Agat now that he's here. Oh, fetch. I hope I have access to all my orbs or else I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. But, oh well. It sounds like there's not even going to be any monsters to come across. So, I suppose there's not much to go on. So next week, we'll pick right back up. We'll probably talk to a lot of people here in the villa. And then get our head start moving off into the next phase. Whatever that ends up being. But, sounds like things are going to get really crazy with this tea party. That'll be exciting. Thank you so much for being here today. Hope you don't mind how long this episode took. I certainly enjoyed myself, and hopefully I was able to finally vindicate some of you who were trying to hint, nudge me towards the port. Glad I got to do that. And then other than that, yeah, just happy with how things have played out so far. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey and being able to share this with me. It just means the world to me that you're here, especially to the patrons and members for your direct support. It literally just gets funneled straight into trying to do stuff for the channel, and it's because of your support that I'm more determined than ever to maintain the content on the channel as much as possible. You know, life will change, but I don't want to stop making these videos, so thank you so much for your patience and your support, and I look forward to being able to share more of these videos with you. But until the next video, watch me, if you see me next, I'll see you there.